So
Yeah.
is that a kind of good skim through of your design life?
Yeah, I think it's interesting when I look at my LinkedIn profile when I'm admiring it, on a boring day, and I see like it's very linear. It starts as a consultant, and then it's a UX architect, then it's a senior UX architect, then it's a principal and consultant, then it's head of, then it's director, and then there's a bit like Icarus, and I got too close to the sun, and
Why did you use that word Icarus, or what does that mean for you?
I think so for me, I meant I got a bit too close to the organized or the sort of the senior business side of things, and a bit too far away from why I got into doing what I'm doing. I mean, I started off before getting to research in psychology, and I consider that to be sort of my primary interest. And like a lot of people, you step up through the various levels, and then you get to a point. I think some people, I mean, certainly I did, realize where I was like, this isn't. Now all of a sudden we're talking about things like redundancies and the bottom line. And I thought maybe that's what I was interested in, but actually it's really not. It's really not. I've gone too far. I've gone too close to that side of things, and I wanted to get back to being a bit more hands-on, a bit more back to the research side of things and the psychology side of things, and actually doing things for end users a bit more.
Yeah, so you sort of stopped feeling like a designer, and
Yeah, yeah,
started feeling like a business person.
yeah, and yeah, a manager, and certainly at that point for me as well, I was we just had my third child last, and I was just there'd been a lot going on. There was so much had gone on in those few years,
Yeah,
and I was starting to feel like I just had way too much responsibility in all walks of life, and it
yeah,
was really starting to tell. And I mean, we had a conversation about getting a dog, and I was just like, absolutely no chance, because I just felt like if I had one more thing was added to me, then
yeah.
I'd collapse. And so it's partly that as well. I mean, at Nemens, it was quite a big team, and quite a lot going on for a lot of people. So there's a lot of dealing with other people's issues as well as with my own.
Um, what I hear the theme of is like like holding. You're holding people, holding their emotions, holding their journey, and when you in Dementia, like I think it like 20 odd people that you were sort of effectively holding.
Yeah. Yeah. And we tried to separate line management a little bit, but especially for that team, which grew quite quickly from seven or so, and yeah, got up near 30 at one point. You, I was responsible pretty much for bringing all of those people in, and so I think when that happens, you feel a lot of responsibility for their careers. You want to make sure that they're happy and they're getting what they need out of things. So yeah, it's a lot to take on, and if you're trying to do that properly and you're really invested in people and you care, it can become overwhelming quite quickly unless you're careful.
I can really relate with that. I had a role at a very well known shoe company, and it it was I started the role thinking it was about design, and it was, and it was about practice and developing practice, and trying to implement processes and evangelizing design. And then towards the end of the time that I was there, it became about like sort of helping people navigate and orient the company as it was kind of sinking, basically.
Yeah.
And there were redundancies, and there was like people didn't know if they were going to turn up one day and just be told to leave, and suddenly I was in this role of like crisis holder or something, and it was so far away from design at that point. It was just
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mind admitting that what I saw a lot was when it came to things like redundancies, people would be like, well, if it has to be done, I'll do it. Like I'm strong enough to do it. I absolutely hate that side of things. I mean, especially I don't want to be sort of there responsible telling someone that they've got no job. You know, having brought them in and we go, it's really exciting. We've got all these things that we can work on, and go, actually, for reasons completely out of our control, we've got to let you go. And I could see that that was the way that things were going, and those decisions were going to potentially have to start being made. And I really didn't want to. I just didn't want to be part of that. And maybe I'm not cut out for that. Maybe I'm too sensitive to people's needs. But I don't want, I don't want to do that. I don't want to tell people that they are no longer welcome. And then I also don't want to be in an environment. I know this is increasingly difficult, especially where I am now, but I don't want to be in an environment where people are leaving, because it creates so much uncertainty for everyone else. Can't have ideally what you want is a team where you've got good psychological safety, people can be themselves, express themselves, and not worry too much. But you can't have that when people are being made redundant, because there's just constant low level, maybe not even low level, but anxiety and fear about what's going on.